Hi Jim, what's up?
Yeah, Darren is here is calling for you about his lawyer's license.
No, it's not about Lois' license. I want to study under him. So where
Wait,
should I come?
you wanna what?
Study,
What do you
study.
mean study under?
Means he is like he'll teach me how to do the stuff and also I have to take my internship under him.
Yeah, don't hey, Darren is here.
For
He's calling
training,
for
for
you
lawyer
for
training, basically.
yeah,
Hello.
the front of that.
Yeah, I'll be placing you in hold,
No.
sir. Just bear with me. Yeah,
That man
enjoy your
in
time.
white there.
He's joking.
That man in white, in the white t-shirt. Sure.
Yeah, Dante,
Yeah.
how are you?
I what's happening, but I didn't understand a single word from him.
Yeah, I'm here for the
Hello, Dante.
internship. You told me you'll teach me how to do the stuff and all.
I can do a class for an hour. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, I'll be following you.
Wait, what are you teaching him, by the way?
I'm an FIB officer, so to be a lawyer for FIB, I have to learn.
Hold up. I think they might need a lawyer here. Oh no, they got him. It's covered. Okay. Come on.
Uh,
Okay. So I like standing in here.
how do
Darren,
we
can you
do
hear
it?
me?
Do we join the mails or something like that, or do you talk from here?
Yes. We'll do it in the email. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So Darren,
Yeah,
there.
I'm there. I'm there.
Okay. So we'll start with the criminal law. Okay.
Okay.
So please open up the Code of Criminal Misdemeanor Law.
10-4. Code of Criminal Misdemeanor Law.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's simply called the Criminal Code for the shorthand.
Yeah. It's done.
So we're going to discuss some of the principles of the law.
Okay.
Right. So the first principle that is the principle of corpus delicti. All right.
Okay. Where is that actually? Okay. Corpus delicti. Yeah. 1.3.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, it's named corpus delicti. Corpus in Latin is body.
Yeah.
There's a full name, but um it comes from the idea that kind of someone says there was a murder. Okay.
Okay.
well, where's the body?
Okay, okay. I got the corpus term because
Yeah.
Corpus Christi in Latin, it's
Yeah,
on body
yeah,
of Christ.
yes, yes,
So
yeah,
body is in that sense. I got it.
yeah. So, I mean, the whole idea is that someone coming up to you and saying, I killed the governor, or kind of like, isn't anything, right? It's a claim. It might be false reporting. It might be the crime of false reporting, okay? Always remember that.
Yes.
Okay? If someone just starts making a claim and there's no evidence and it's a serious claim, then you can have they can be giving false evidence or false testimony, and they're crimes for that. But there needs to be evidence. That's what it comes down to. This is why when a lawyer goes to the DOC, anything, if you want to get a warrant of arrest or from a judge, yeah, well, bring me the evidence. When a lawyer comes to the DOC, he will ask for evidence. You need to have valid proof that his client has committed a crime. So, and there are only two facts in there. It's like kind of, you've got to have the evidence, and if you don't have the evidence, there is no crime. End of story. Right?
Yeah.
And that evidence has to be valid. And there are arguments about the validity of evidence. So that's why it turns on body cam. Okay? You need to have that. Otherwise, all you're showing is a POV, which is good for the wizards and admins, but no good IC for law. Okay, that's the big difference. POV is good for wizards. Body cam is good for law. So that's the first big principle. You got to have evidence, right? Then criminal liability. So in law, right, in order for someone to actually be held guilty of a crime, they must be liable for the crime. So what you have in law is things such as self-defense. Okay, it's lawful for you to shoot someone, which is normally a crime, but you are protecting yourself from a crime. All right?
Yeah, got it.
So, but with liability, I mean, if someone starts punching you, okay, you shouldn't just take out a shotgun and shoot them. Okay? That's excessive force. All right?
Yeah.
I mean, fighting back, yes, perfectly allowed. Taking out a baton, hitting them with a baton or a close combat weapon or something, that's fine. You're there to knock them out, all right? So you shouldn't be using excessive force, all right?
Yeah, got it.
I mean, the measures taken should be reasonable. But so liability is, can someone be held accountable for the crime? So I mean, this is a huge principle in law. It's a huge argument in law. I mean, a drunk driver kind of crashes into someone, all right,
Yeah.
and injures them, all right. Now, yeah, the drunk driver should have foreseen the possibility of harm. They were drunk. They shouldn't have been driving a vehicle. They're not fit to drive a vehicle. Therefore, they are criminally liable. Okay. So, I mean, there are exceptions to it. Okay. I mean, the five major ones: self-defense. Yeah. I mean, someone shooting at you, yeah, shoot back. Someone is punching you, punch back. I mean, defense of others. So if someone is shooting at a friend, another police officer, yes, that police officer's partner has the right to shoot the person who is now a direct threat or trying to shoot. So those two are important. I mean, the performance of duty. All right.
Okay.
The National Guard have a duty that if anyone trespasses on the base, okay, they shoot them. All right. They don't need to tell people to leave. If you're in the red zone of Fort Sankudo, it is their duty and their standing order to shoot someone. All right.
Yeah, got it.
But why? Sorry, just excuse me for a sec. Okay, sorry about that.
No problem.
Direct from the Attorney General. You can take it. All right. So the So liability. So I mean, yeah. If I mean, there are the 5 grounds there. There's one that actually should be added. I mean, we're evaluating adding another one.
One is the self-defense, one is by mistake on the ground of defense of others. Then
Yeah.
the NG thing, the duty or purpose of duty.
Yeah.
Then the
But the same would apply kind of to police officers who, in certain situations. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but most of the time, it's why we say the police should never shoot first.
okay.
Okay.
If they're only shot, then shoot back.
Yeah. That's
No,
that's
if the person is trespassing into their HQ, are they not allowed to take the person down? Like
yes,
NG?
but is the person is no, yes, National Guard, yes. In the red zone, if the person's inside Fort Sankudo, yes, they can shoot. They don't have to say anything, they just shoot. Okay?
Okay.
But if someone walked into FIB HQ, no, you can't just shoot them because they walked in through the front door of FIB. All right? That's illegal. All right? So, yeah, I mean, so the performance of duty is the best example is National Guard in the red zone of Fort Sankudo.
Okay. What is the fifth one then? We finish only 4 till.
Okay. Number 3 is grounds of unintentional accidents. Okay. So you're driving your car up the road, okay, and you crash into someone else's car, okay.
Yeah.
Or you have a little headache, or desync, and you hit into a pedestrian, okay. Yes, I mean you are criminally liable. I mean you fucking hit someone with a car. But that's if you go, sorry man, I didn't see you there. Can I help you? You need some medical attention? You get out of your car, you patch them up, and they're like, no, it's cool, man, don't worry about it. There, you're basically apologizing to them, and they're accepting your apology, right?
Yes.
So you're saying it's an accident. That's why you punch someone accidentally. It's yeah, sorry, man. That's basically reflex or whatever. It's like no problem. Like you're apologizing, and they're accepting, and then then you're not assaulting. All right. So it's important. Okay. The final one was the one that was added most recently: consent to harm. Okay. So the example for consent to harm is a boxing match. All right.
Yeah.
Or a fight, okay, between 2 people. All right.
Yeah.
But only if they have agreed to the fight.
There should be consent of both the parties.
Yeah. So it's like, hey man, do you want to have a friendly boxing match? Yeah, sure. Okay, good. We've agreed to fight. So we've both agreed that we're going to be hurting each other. Okay. So that works. All right. But if I pull out a revolver and say we're going to have a duel with revolvers, no. That's excessive. All right.
Yeah.
You can't realistically start shooting at each other.
Life-threatening cases.
Yeah. Now there are some things if you're using live fire, like with a shotgun, you can RP it that you're using a beanbag round or a rubber bullet, okay, or a paintball. This is a paintball gun. It's kind of like that's iffy. The wizards, if they see that, might still punish people, okay. But I mean, if you have it on body cam that you've consented to it, or it's a training exercise, or it's a something, a weapons test or something like that, there's probably, depending on the wizard, you might get away with it. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, consent to harm. The best example, boxing match. Okay. Pistol dueling like they did in the 18th century, no, not allowed. Cowboy duels, no. Right? There's no high noon shootouts, all right? So yeah. So that's important. I mean, now the next principle is complicity, okay, which is being an accomplice. That's as in your exam, yeah. It's where two people are committing a crime, or one person is committing a crime, and the next person is helping them commit the crime. So the getaway drive.
If
So
it's
like
done unintentionally, is it still
what?
considered a crime? Like you're helping the person to get away unintentionally, is it still considered a crime?
Right. Okay. This is where you start having some complicated arguments. Okay. So someone. Okay. So the good example is the getaway driver. Okay.
Okay.
If you are going to rob an ATM, okay, and I'm going to sit in the car and be your getaway driver. All right. If I know you're robbing the ATM, I'm an accomplice. Okay. All right. If I don't know that you're robbing the ATM, all right, then I wouldn't know. So this is where you have 1.5.2. A person is complicit in a crime if they intentionally and knowingly act as an accomplice.
Okay.
Okay. So if I'm driving you around, maybe you're looking for our treasures, and you just say, "Hey man, just pull over. I just need to go do something. I'm gonna need to draw some money. Okay, we'll stop at this ATM.
Yeah.
Okay, and I have no idea that you're robbing it.
Yeah.
Okay, then I can't be an accomplice.
Okay.
Right?
No.
I'm more like an unwilling participant.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have
Which
a
is
doubt. So there is this person, like suppose you're the driver, I go rob without you knowing, and I sit back into the vehicle. As soon as I sit, according to the RP version of the thing, uh, my friend and me both gets like the amount of stars on us each. Why is that? Like, why is it like that? Like, why do we
right.
both get instead of only me?
So both people get the stars
Yeah.
because both people are in the circle.
No, he doesn't know that I robbed the bank. No.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now this is the thing. The script will see that you're within the circle. Okay.
Okay.
So and now I'm not sure whether it adds the stars purely because you're in the circle when the notification comes up, or whether it's because you got into the car. Okay.
No. As soon as you rob the bank, you get a star. After that, you
Yeah.
sit inside the car. Your friend who's driving you, or anyone who's going to drive you, will also get a star.
Yeah. Right. So it's the moment the person gets in the car.
Yeah.
Right. So that's it. It's basically they've built into the script the complicity. Okay. You're going to be the getaway driver. Okay. The script knows that you're being the getaway driver. Okay. Now, you could, if you're the getaway driver, you could argue. Okay. You could say, I did not know he was going to rob the ATM. Okay. In which case, that's then up to the lawyer or the law enforcement officers. Okay.
Okay.
The lawyer would say, okay, yeah, he didn't know. Okay. But who has to prove that they were innocent? Okay. Wrong. Okay. You see, it's like no one has to prove they're innocent. Okay. Law enforcement have to prove they're guilty. And this is where the stars become a bit of a problem. Okay. The wanted by the state. Okay. What someone should do, okay,
Yeah.
is the moment you get into my car and I suddenly see I get stars, all right? I would get out of my car, put my hands on my head, and basically stand against the wall and wait for law enforcement.
Okay.
Like that's what you should do, okay? You're basically very clearly saying, I have no part in this. I've just got stars because of this fucking idiot, all right? And you would, and when the officers show up, you would willingly surrender. You would cooperate 100%.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you start shooting people, well, that's a different story. So, yeah. I mean, that's more where you're the next principle, which is an unwilling participant. I mean, you didn't know, you didn't want to take part in this. You're like, no, I'm not driving you away from here. I'm going to surrender to the police immediately. Okay. So someone who does that, okay, yeah, it's. I mean, you could check them. I mean, you could detain them. You could search them. I mean, if they've got no guns, no key sets, nothing on them, and they've surrendered completely, then yeah, there's you should let them go. So, but I mean, unwilling participant. Yeah, I mean the race. I mean, so you're the passenger in a car. The driver doesn't stop. He's ordered to by the police, and there's a big chase and stuff. All right.
Yeah.
Now, you're an unwilling participant. Okay. You could argue, or what you could do to the police is, if the police are chasing you, you push the radius of your speaking up all the way, and then when the police vehicle gets close, you try to tell the police that you're unwilling. You don't want to be you don't want to be involved in this. All right. So in that case, yes. I mean, unwilling participant. I mean, it's unrealistic for someone to jump out of a car at 300 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
So, again, unwilling participant. A lot of it's to do with how well they cooperate when the chase is over. Okay.
Yeah.
So, commutation. Okay. Commutation. It's reduction in sentence. Darren? Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening. The commutation thing.
Yeah.
So how does the lawyer work on the commutation process? Like, does he see the body cam, tries to find the mistakes in both the case and try to reduce the sentence, or how does he do it?
Say a good example is
according to
a good
my
example.
knowledge, what I saw Bobby doing few days back was like he saw the body cam of the LSPD officers trying to arrest this guy. So he saw the mistakes of the LSPD officers. He was doing par gaming and so on. So
No, irrelevant. Those are OSC things. OOC completely.
oh, okay. No. He made some mistakes after that also. The IC mistakes.
Yeah.
So he talks out with the LSPD unit to reduce his sentence. Is it
Okay.
done it?
Shouldn't it be? No. Using things like that to reduce a sentence? No. Okay.
Yeah.
So the next two principles are clear principles as to when commutation would apply. Okay. So the first offense. Okay. So commutation of sentence can be applied at the discretion of the law enforcement officer. The law enforcement officer has the final say. Okay. Not the lawyer or anyone.
Okay.
To a person who has committed a Class 1 or a Class 2 felony by substituting the imprisonment with a fine of no less than 20,000. Okay? So I commit a minor felony. It's my very first offense. They can see that I was I wasn't armed. Wasn't doing anything serious. Okay? So instead of giving me a jail sentence, the officers just give me a fine of 20,000. Okay? And then let me go. All right? So it only applies to a Class 1 or Class 2 felony. It doesn't apply to higher. Right?
Okay.
Principle of confession and cooperation. Okay? Confession and cooperation by a suspect with an investigation may, at the sentencing officer's discretion, result in commutation of the final sentence. Okay? So we go back to the two people. All right?
Yeah.
The robbery of an ATM. Okay? One guy is like, no, look, he said he needed me to drive him for some stuff, but I didn't know what he wanted. The moment he started robbing the ATM, I didn't want anything to do with it. I didn't. I'm an unwilling participant, and I'm going to cooperate completely. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, in that case, even though the guy might be guilty of helping, okay.
Okay.
Because he's cooperated completely.
Okay.
He might be let go just with a 10,000 fine and nothing further. Okay.
Okay. The fine should be
or
given
even,
then.
or no, maybe not. I mean, if he's completely cooperative and everything, you might say, no, look, thank you for your cooperation. Find better friends, but you're free to go. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
It's perfectly allowed. Okay. But in each instance, always have body cam. I mean, you're obliged. You have to have the body cam of each arrest, of each thing. So you should have body cam. Okay. And yeah. So yeah, there's the problem with commutation. This is the big problem. All right. And where there's a risk in using it. Okay. Is there's a line between commutation and complicity. All right.
Yeah.
Or collusion, the crime of collusion. Okay. Which is why commutation can only apply to those low class felonies. Okay.
Oh, okay.
3, 4, and 5. No. If you're starting to commute, if you as a law enforcement officer are lowering sentences for class 3, 4, 5, or for 5 you can't do it. It says that clearly here.
It's a non-bailable thing.
Non-bailable. If it's a class 5 felony, there's no commutation. You can't reduce their sentence. All right. 3s and 4s, maybe, but only with a lawyer. All right.
Yeah.
So,
next
now,
time, if I see someone doing, I'll be the first one to report it.
yeah. So 1s and 2s are the minor things. All right.
Yeah.
If it's a first offense and a minor felony, yeah. So long as you have body cam clearly showing you've checked the PDA, this is a first time offense, it's a class 1 felony, something very minor. So, I mean, abandonment, Class 1, 2.4.1. Class 1 felony. All right. Like, yeah. I mean, the guy doesn't know. I mean, so yeah, you just go, look, don't worry about it. We'll just in future, like if you can help someone and it's not a risk to yourself, you should try and help them. It's like the guy's like, yeah, I get it. I mean, but I had no med kits or anything. There was nothing I could do. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I mean, if he can't render assistance, he cooperated fully. You can't render assistance. I mean, people forget about abandonment as a thing. But yeah. So if people cooperate, if they're a first offender, if it's a minor felony, yeah, commutation does apply. I mean, for bigger things, a lawyer can make things happen. If the arguments with the law enforcement go on for a long time, yeah, I mean the lawyer could say, look, we have been here for nearly 45 minutes. Okay, my client is willing to accept the charges, so long as he gets a lesser time in jail, because he's already been here for 45 minutes or whatever. He's already been here for 30 minutes. Okay.
No, as soon as the 20 minutes over, if he's not processed, you have to leave the suspect, right?
No. If a lawyer is there, if the lawyer
if
is
the
called,
lawyer is not present,
25, yeah, 25 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
From the time you first cuff someone, okay,
Yeah.
to the time you must release them, okay, that's a principle called the unreasonable delay in justice. Okay. If you're gonna arrest someone, if you're gonna detain someone, okay, you either have to release them within 25 minutes or process them within 25 minutes.
Okay.
Right? So, I mean, yeah. That is so that, but the moment you start requesting lawyers, start requesting high command of a state org because you've arrested one of their employees, all of those things, the moment the request is made on the department chat, the timer is stopped. All right?
Yeah, okay, got it.
Longest I've ever had is 2.5 hours. Okay. That was by Krasi Singh, Darkstar Walker, and was it John Walker? Yeah. They called for EMS to come help because they needed medical treatment. They basically used everything they could do to make it go on and on and on. Right?
Okay.
And the lawyers were arguing. Right?
Okay.
So it's why we've put time limits. So you can call EMS if someone is complaining, okay? You injured me, you're bad driving, you broke my arm, kind of whatever, okay?
Yeah.
You can happen that you will do a you can request EMS, okay? You can ask if EMS can send a medic to the DOC, all right?
Yeah.
Or if you've got the detainee at the FIB, yes, you could call them to FIB HQ. Or if LSPD have them in the holding cells downstairs, or Highway Patrol have them in their holding cells, yeah, you can call for an EMS worker. Okay. Now, the first thing is obviously that's a section in the civil code where, yeah, you would give some medical treatment to the person. Yeah. I mean, you've got your first aid kits. You do have the ability to heal people so long as you RP it properly. But if they still complain, okay, if there's still shit and nonsense going on, then you can call for EMS, all right? That suspends the timer.
Yeah. Then the 2.5 hours timer starts, right?
What? No. The longest I just had was 2.5 hours because of all the nonsense. Okay. But we'll talk when we talk about the civil code. We'll look at the various ways things can get delayed. Okay. The main three for delay. or 4 for delay. Calling for a high command from the organization, right? The second one is calling for a judge or calling for a lawyer. The third one is calling for a judge. And the last one is calling for EMS. Okay. Each one of those things can delay the process. Right?
Yeah.
So the moment the call is made, the timer is stopped. All right? And but there's a limit to that. If you get no reply, I think it's either 3 minutes or 5 minutes, you carry on. Okay?
Yeah.
If you get a reply, then there's up to 10 minutes for the lawyer to arrive.
Okay.
And there is then if the lawyer doesn't arrive after 10 minutes, then it's carry on. Okay? You take it that the lawyer did not arrive in time. Okay?
Okay.
Maybe they have a co-day. Maybe they got hijacked. Maybe they, yeah, number of reasons. Okay? But if the lawyer hasn't arrived within 10 minutes, you carry on. Right?
Yeah.
You just simply say to the suspect, the 10:15, your lawyer didn't arrive in time. We must proceed with the processing. Okay. Same goes for if it's a private lawyer. Yeah, your lawyer didn't arrive in time. Yeah. I mean, there's in the civil code there's an actual, I think it's 4.8, which is the procedure for request of a lawyer. With the time limitations and the process to do for each one. All right. So next principle in the criminal code is principle of a state witness. It's a new principle. It's only being used once. Okay.
Okay.
I wrote this because it's a real world thing, and it's a very useful thing, especially for FIB. Now, I know you guys use informants. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There isn't anything in the law, nor has there ever been written anything in the law that actually legally allows you guys to use informants. Okay.
Yes.
All right. There's some big issues with it. Okay. The biggest issue is that it can be seen as collusion, or if you're paying them, corruption. So it's a big problem. Okay.
Yeah.
What you do have, which is perfectly legal to do, is a state witness. So if I commit a crime, okay, not a particularly big one, all right, and I get arrested, okay, and I say, look, okay, I know I committed the crime, but if I know about much worse crimes, okay,
Yeah.
all right, and I've got valid body cam and evidence of it, okay,
Yeah.
all right, so that's where they turn into a state witness, okay, so in exchange for no prison term, no fine, anything, all right, I will give the FIB or the Department of Justice my evidence, all right,
Yeah.
for that you guys can then use to create a case file or use on a raid warrant, something like that, okay. So that's where a state witness comes in. It's a legal and perfectly legal way for you to get evidence from a criminal in exchange for no prison term, all right, and or no fine, okay. But remember, exemption from prosecution. But the point is that they have to actually give valid evidence. Okay. The idea is what seems to happen with an informant is you guys just don't prosecute them if they get caught for something.
Yeah.
The problem is that's illegal by many interpretations of the law. If, however, if they get arrested and they give you valid evidence, then you can treat them like an informant, all right?
Yeah.
So it's an informant, the legality of an informant is questionable, okay? The state witness, someone who gives valid evidence in exchange for no prosecution, yeah, that's legal, that's legitimate, okay? Now, the clear differences with the state witness is obviously it is not considered corruption or collusion so long as no one is being paid. Okay, that's the big thing, right? If you're paying an informant, okay,
Yeah.
that's a problem. Okay, can be. But there's issues with the informant and the principle of an informant which need to be kind of, if something is going to be fixed in law, set in law, then it needs to be done, right? And it can be done, okay? But FIB need to come and discuss that with the legislature, right? I mean, if they want protections for certain people, yes, it can be done, right?
Poppy, can I get a 2 minutes break? Just have.
Hello, Darren.
Yeah. Who the hell?
Who's this?
I have no idea.
Sharat, can you please go?
Can I talk with Poppy?
Okay, you talk. I'll be just going for the dinner. Poppy, can I get a 2
Oh no.
minutes break?
For dinner? 2 minutes for dinner? No, take a proper break, like 10 minutes.
No, because
fine.
I finished my dinner first. That's why.
Oh, okay. Well, 5 minutes.
Hello, Poppy. Are you remember me? When you are governor, I'm the DOC border. Do you remember me?
Yeah, okay. So why are you stepping into a courtroom when you're not invited?
What?
Exactly. Why are you coming into the courtroom when you're not invited into?
Yeah, I'm applied for a lawyer license. Who
Okay.
will give response? Who will give the response?
You're
I'm right now I'm
okay.
NG High Command. Yeah. Who will reply for who will respond for the
Okay.
lawyer application? What? Carry on, continue. Poppy.
Yeah, the Attorney General should reply to that, but I mean that's
Okay.
yeah.
When I join DOC again, which rank I can get?
Okay. This is not the time or place to have conversations like that. Okay.
Okay, 10.
I mean, don't come don't come stepping into the courtroom uninvited. All right.
10 for 10.
All right. If you do stuff like that, will not ever get a lawyer's license. Okay.
10.
All right.
Sorry for disturbing.
All right. You have to have some respect. You have to understand. If you step into the courtrooms uninvited,
Yeah, Poppy, I'm back.
Okay. Right.
We finished with the state witnesses.
Yeah. So, the punishments, fines, and deprivations. So, I mean, this is just the whole list of punishments that could exist. Okay.
Okay.
Now, the only two that really apply, or three that apply to law enforcement, are imprisonment and compensation to the state, also known as fines. Right? The final one is confinement in an isolation cell. Right? But that only applies now if they try to escape when you're done, or if they attack you. Okay? Under that, you have full rights to take them straight to isolation. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, the final one is the licenses. I mean, so yeah. I mean, a lot of the penal codes, especially the firearms violations and the driving violations, in the punishment, you're supposed to take away their driving license. You're supposed to take away their gun license. All right?
Yeah.
Now, these might seem minor, but they're actually very effective ways to combat crime. Because if you take away someone's driving license, when they get released and they walk out of jail, what do?
They try to get a rent car.
Yes, but if they don't have a driving license, they can't take a rental car. Now, one of their friends from the gang has to come all the way to the DOC and pick them up.
Yeah.
So that usually means that you've got two criminals who, for a short time, aren't doing anything. Okay? I mean, yeah, they can send a family member or something. They can have a family member pick them up as well. But yeah, it's just a disruptive thing. Same thing goes for a gun license. Okay? They don't have a gun license anymore. They've just had their guns taken away. So now they've got to go and ask a family member for guns, get to the warehouse with the family, get guns, or come to government, get a gun license to go to the ammunition to get a gun, right?
Yeah.
So all of that is part of a disruption of crime. Okay, you agree?
Yeah, I got it.
It's the number of times you see on family chats and stuff like, I don't have a gun license. Oh, I don't have a gun. I need a gun. Kind of now they don't have a gun. Now someone has to go and get them a gun, or kind of like, or give them one of their guns, which means that they're less effective. But
Yes.
all of those things, kind of, it adds up. Okay? It might seem minor, but it's 5-10 minutes for them, 5 seconds for you to take away the license.
Yeah,
Right?
but everyone in the org doesn't have the access to remove the licenses.
Really?
Yeah. See, last time there was an abandonment of car at this one and rash driving. So it's taken as rash driving as well as abandonment of car. So there was a penal code that you have to cancel the license of the person. To cancel the license, I had to talk with my high commands, then issue the warning and all to the people. But the license was not cancelled and the person was left free.
Right. So I mean, like for misappropriation of a vehicle,
Yeah.
2.18.1. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's you can revoke a driving license when they're right there in front of you. Okay. you can't revoke a license if they're not in your presence, right?
Yeah.
Now, if I check on the, let me just look on my organization and see, because government can revoke. Managing ranks. I'm sure we have some people have the right to take away licenses. I think ours is just access to PDA.
Yeah, you people have only access to PDA. You do not have access to issue fines or anything.
Yeah, but we can.
In our organization, it's from rank 15, I think. The elite agents are allowed to take away license now.
Yes. Okay. Take away licenses. All right. Right. That's a problem. Okay. Speak to. You should take. I mean, that should. I mean, every agent should have the ability to take away license. Okay.
Yeah.
Because any agent who is processing someone should be able to take away. Because it's in the penal codes that you need to be able to do it. All right. Now I understand why FIB don't do it when they should.
Yeah. They just skip the part where taking out of the license and they continue with the rest of the part.
Right. Okay. Well, they should be taking away the licenses. That's why we have them in the damn penal codes. Okay. So okay. That is a problem, but it's something that it's quite easily fixed. Okay. I mean, not you don't have it for trainee agents, okay, but for anyone.
No, I'm talking about a field agent at least. Like they start in normal training agents are like from, I'll tell you from what rank. They have the suspended rank, the LOA, the junior agent 2, junior agent 3, field agent 1, 2, 3. So from 3 at least, but they have from rank 15, which is like way ahead. So they're like 7 to 8 people, group of people who can't process anything. Like they can't take away the licenses.
Yeah. I mean, but they should be, okay, when they're processing. Okay. But look, I mean, something like that can be looked at. Something like that can be looked into and fixed. Okay. I think LSPD have it that almost anyone can take away a license.
No, LSPD has, but no one in LSPD takes away. That's the thing. They were never taught.
No. The chief knows.
The chief knows, but he didn't implement. When I was there in LSPD, he never implemented it. He never told people like it's compulsory to remove licenses.
Vincent.
Yeah.
Nice. I'll remind him. Don't worry. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there are obviously other things that that people can be punished with.
Okay.
So, I mean, things like demotion, things like being fired, things like being blacklisted. Yeah. So there are several things, and the extra thing is a judge can there are a few powers and punishments a judge can impose as well. That only a judge can impose. So, yeah. And then you've got felonies and misdemeanors. So sentencing for a felony.
Okay, what are like misdemeanors? I see this felonies as taken as stars. What is the misdemeanors? How do we issue misdemeanors?
That you refer. We refer use the term points for misdemeanors and stars for felonies. Okay.
Yeah.
So what would happen with a misdemeanor? Okay. It's done just as a fine.
Okay, it's just issued as a fine. That's it.
Yeah, it's just the same as you would fine a car. Right?
Yeah.
So the procedure for misdemeanor is you put them in cuffs. You take them to a safe place or a quiet place. Okay.
Yeah.
Search their pocket for identification. Then using your PDA and the identity that has been established, issue a fine for the misdemeanor. Okay?
Okay, got it.
So that's it. And once they're done, release. Okay? You can't even search them. All right? Because it's very clear in the law that you can only search someone when you're arresting them. Okay? When you know they've committed a crime. Okay? I mean, the other side is if you're detaining them. Right? You detain them for yeah. So, but if it's for a misdemeanor, no. The misdemeanors are mostly in Article 10 of the Criminal Code. Just basically people who are being idiots. Okay. They're like harassing or public drunkenness or being just a nuisance or things like that. All right.
Yeah.
It's small. It's small little punishments. Easy to do, and don't take up too much of your time. Right? Because what happened is that you have hooliganism, 2.21, and that is but it was either hooliganism or nothing. All right.
Yeah.
Now, what those public misdemeanors do is they fill in the gap below hooliganism in a way. And yes, you can find someone for public obscenity and public nuisance. Okay, so they're being loud and they're swearing and whatever. All right. All the misdemeanors, you just warn them once. Right, sir? Watch your language, and can you please stop making that noise? All right. So you warn them once. If they don't comply, then you can detain them and fine them and release them. All right.
Yeah.
So, but there is a principle with the misdemeanors. I mean, if you had someone who is drunk in public and making loud noises and swearing and kind of, then what you'll have is the number of points they'll add up to is more than 5.
Yeah.
In which case, you can take them to jail for either 30 months with 25,000 fine, or we charge them with hooliganism. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's an either or in that case. If it's multiple small misdemeanors, it basically just be a multiple misdemeanors, and or if it's properly bad, then 2.21 is the more applicable. So yeah. So that's why it's actually quite rare that you'll ever actually get someone over the point count, but it still exists. Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
So the whole reason for the misdemeanors is like it's it's a catch and release, like fishing. Catch the fish, you release the fish. Okay. You don't want to take up your time. You don't want to waste your time. All right. Just so I mean, it fills in a gap in the law. Kind of. It's not actually used that often, but they can be useful. Here at the Capitol, if we had someone from LSPD stationed at the Capitol, just to fine idiots, there'd be a lot of fines being handed out.
That's what.
For you guys, there's obviously that penal code 3.5 section of justice. When you guys are out in the field, that's the best one you have. All right. So, all right. So we're not going to go in depth into the criminal into the actual codes themselves. Okay. I mean, I'm sure you're familiar with most of them, right? But there are a few that if you read through there are a few that you might not have seen before, or might not ever really used. One I want to bring to your attention is 2.18.4.
Give me a second. 18 is 17 is here. Okay, the misappropriation of vehicle. Yeah,
Yep.
the vehicle used in criminal activity. Okay.
Yes. This is one your curator David wanted in. Okay, and I agreed.
Yeah, so it's a 2-point misdemeanor, 10,000 fine, and revocation of driving license.
Yes. So all those cars that are left behind at a crime scene. Now I know you guys often search the vehicles.
Yeah.
All right. Now you can find the vehicles as well. So obviously not a gang vehicle, but
the family's vehicle.
Yes, that's the big one. This was designed to hit back at the families for you letting their vehicles be used in crimes. Okay.
Okay.
So
I have a doubt now. So you get the owner of the vehicle's owner name through the IC commands and all. You read the info, and you get the owner's name. He has like 3 vehicles. So 2.18.4 vehicle used in criminal activity X into 3, and fine 30,000 you give, and you revoke his driving license. Is that fine?
Yeah, yes. So he's got 3 separate vehicles, the owner of the family.
Yeah.
And all
3 of them were used in crime. So you put the 3 times the amount and you revoke his driving license.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say yes. That would be perfectly fair.
Got it now.
Yeah. So it's 3 separate misdemeanors, 3 separate vehicles. Yeah, I think you could do that. I think that wouldn't be a problem. And when he wonders why the hell he got fined and why he lost his, you can go to any officer and the officer can look him up on the PDA and see, yeah, this stuff is being used. Your vehicles are being used in criminal activity. Okay, that's why you're getting fined. It's not a big punishment, okay, but it's annoying.
It disturbs the owner of the vehicle, saying that he should not give his vehicles out for criminal activities.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if he loses income from it because he doesn't get a paycheck, if he loses battle points, grand points, fine. Loses driver's license, yeah. I mean, yeah, you can complain about it, but this is one that David, Fluctuary, and myself agreed on. So, yeah. I mean, each of these little things that we add to the law are like things like this. They're there to disturb. They're there to the revocation of the licenses. All of these things are there to disrupt and break up and annoy the hell out of the criminals. Okay.
Yeah.
So that they spend more time or a little bit of time having to go and sort shit out, right? Yeah, or they go buy an illegal driver's license, okay? But then now they have to pay $20,000 to get an illegal driver's license. They have to go to the post office to get that thing, and now they're carrying an illegal thing, so now they have false documents, okay?
Yeah.
So when they're searched, they're now committing another crime, okay?
Okay.
The false documents are confiscated, and they are sent away to jail again for 2.1.6. So each time, okay, or the alternative is they have to go and do that boring driving test.
Yes.
Which is annoying. I mean, if they're losing their license once a week, once every few days, yeah, that's going to get really, really annoying. Now, I mean, there's a few small changes that could be done. All right. So, I mean, there's an enhancement to that, which is if a helicopter belonging to the owner is used to a family, take away their pilot's license. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, the traffic code needs to include the misuse of aircraft. Okay, and there are a few little extra ones we're going to add over time. But I mean, it's so rare that a helicopter is used in criminal activity, other than at the carrier. But the carrier is a OOC event, so we can't do it there. That would be the main time. That's why we didn't add it.
Okay. No, they randomly come and crash into the HQ. It can be taken as a criminal activity to invade the HQ, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's crashing an aircraft into your HQ, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's an act of terrorism, right?
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah. At the very, it's either 3.1.1. Yeah, it's terrorism. I mean, terrorism and misappropriation of a vehicle. But yeah. So yeah, there are options. I mean, there are some changes or like some small enhancers to make it clearer that this would apply for those things. But yeah. Yeah, misappropriation of vehicle or and terrorism. The thing is that misappropriation says reckless driving or endangerment or otherwise hazardous operation of a vehicle. Okay. Yeah, that's misappropriation as well. So it's definitely misappropriation, okay, but might be considered terrorism, okay. I mean, if he crashes a plane through the front door of the FIB, it's terrorism, okay. No one's going to say, oh, I'm just a really bad pilot and I crashed.
Okay.
Well, of all the places you crashed, okay, you managed to crash through the front door of the FIB? No. No. You either are the luckiest person ever, or you intended to do it and you're not as bad a pilot as you think. All right. In any case, yeah. I mean, you could justify revocation of pilot's license, right? So yeah.
about the 2.28, the intention of spreading diseases. How does it work? Like,
Oh, if okay, someone comes up to you and offers to say hello.
yeah,
Okay.
he gives a shake hand or something.
Yeah, and you get a cold.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So it only happens if they already have a cold when they came up to you. Hmm?
Yeah, got it.
So they knew that they had a cold, and they intentionally came up to you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is intentional spreading of disease.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's not like they can say they didn't know. There's a red little unhappy face on the top right, and they get a stupid noise every like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like no, they know, right?
Okay. And 2.30, how does the animal cruelty work over here?
Oh, so animal cruelty.
Yeah.
So if someone starts, I mean, if someone starts beating, kicking, punching an animal, all right?
But actually, aren't all animals immortals in the server?
Hmm?
Aren't all animals immortals rather than dying
No,
in the.
no, not necessarily. Some of the no, that yeah, you can kill them, but they'll be recalled. Okay, they can be recalled, but they can be hurt, they can be injured, or
Okay.
at least people can act like they're injuring them. All right.
Okay.
So I mean, you shouldn't be going around kicking a dog. You shouldn't be going around kicking someone's cat. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you know, V animated.
No, sir.
V Mazoku.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those people
Yeah.
in the.
Yeah. I mean, every time he took a dog down to the beach, someone kicking the dog.
Okay.
And yeah, when I told him about Penal Code 230, he was like, "It's about fucking time." Xavier asked me about this one, and I just immediately pointed to 230. I said I've already added it because I know we added this when the pets came in. And he asked me about it, and I said I've already added. Please check, and are you happy with it? And both David and Xavier said, yeah, that's actually really good. We like it. So, I mean, yeah. So I mean, I add new things to the law as the city changes. So I mean, 229 and 230 were the two new ones added there. So if someone breaks into a house, okay.
How is that found? Like, how is the law enforcement informed that the person is broken into the house?
So the owner of the house could come out and say someone's broken into my house, someone's inside my
Oh, he
house.
calls a 911.
You can call a 911. Yeah, all of those things. Now it's not trespassing. So this is the important thing. Okay, like trespassing. It's like say you come to my house, you come into my garden. I ask you to leave. I ask you to leave a second time. All right. That I mean, you're trespassing in my garden. Okay. But if you now go and break into my house and come into my house, okay, it's not your house. You're not allowed in there. Okay, that's breaking and entering, or B&E, as they call it. You should not be in my house. You should not be using a crowbar or whatever to break into my house ever. All right. The moment you do that, you're committing the crime of breaking and entering. So, I mean, example, I mean, someone comes in and, I mean, can police officers enter your house if you invite them in?
No.
Even if you unlock the door?
If you lock the door, they can't. If you
If
unlock,
you
they can.
Yeah. So you tell police officers, someone broken entered into my house, all right, with a gun. I shot them, all right. They're inside my house. So you put your 911, the police show up, all right, in time, and you say you can come into my house. It's not a problem, okay. They come in, they put the guy in handcuffs, they take him out, all right. Right now, that person could be arrested for breaking and entering.
Okay.
Yeah, and for, I mean, if he shot at the owner of the house, then attempted murder or something. So yeah, there are clear moments when that the B&E, it's not going to happen. It doesn't, because of the way the script works. It's not going to happen very often, right?
Yeah.
But there was no penal code that dealt with it, with that situation where someone illegally breaks into someone's house. So we added it for those times when it happened. I mean, it might happen during a raid. I mean, someone runs to a next door house that they know they leave unlocked all the time and runs into that house. Okay. I mean, now you can. I mean, first of all, well, there's the problems of them running into an interior to RP avoid or whatever. But the second thing is that you can now get them for breaking and entering into that person's house. They are committing a felony. Yeah. And the final one is that with people who break into a family house, to check, hey, do they have anyone inside the house so we can raid them? Yeah. That's why it says kind of entering into a house to attempt to rob it or to check who is in the house. There's no way under law that you're allowed to just come into someone's house, right? Breaking and entering. It's a new penal code, so it's kind of not often used, but people will
Okay, now how is my thing works now? Like, how do I learn the things now? How is my lawyer license going to be issued, or do I write the exam again?
yeah. So okay, so we've gone through the criminal law, all right?
Yeah.
The criminal side. Next class will cover the civil law, okay?
Okay.
But I hope from this you've got a better idea of kind
Yes,
of
I did.
of like of complicity, of criminal liability, and when someone can be held liable. So it's I mean, we say use the term liable in law, but it's like, can he be held guilty? That's the thing. He's like, he was defending themselves. Okay, he's got body cam of it. That he, I mean, that's the other thing. It's kind of if law enforcement shoot first, all right,
Yeah.
without any reason, okay, is someone shooting back at the law enforcement? Is it self-defense?
It's considered
Yes.
self-defense.
But it's if there's no reason for law enforcement to be shooting someone, then someone shooting back and killing the law enforcement officer, all right,
Yeah.
is that self-defense? Yes, it is, because the police should not be shooting at them first, at all. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is why, I mean, I know it's risky, it's a dangerous thing, but it's also why law enforcement should work in teams, in pairs. You shouldn't go alone. Like, best to always work in a pair, all right?
Yeah.
Because even if you start shooting at one of the people, okay, it doesn't matter. There are two of you. You'll take them down, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, they'd have to be properly good to take both of you down, okay? If you've got one person with a rev, one person AR, or one person with AR, another one shooting them with a shotgun, yeah, you should take someone down, okay? Unless they're really good. I mean, you do get people who can 3 versus 1, okay?
Yeah.
They're very rare, okay? Most people in a 2 versus 1, they might take one of you down, the other one but because they're two of you and you have body armor and good weapons, and you should take them down. Okay. I mean, unless you're Christian Hayes, who takes on 4 versus 1 and wins. Okay.
Yeah.
And he's just using a rev to do it. Yeah. I mean, average people are 1 versus 1. Good can do a 2 versus 1. Very good can do a 3 versus 1. Like 4 versus 1 is very rare. But yeah.
No, I think I saw Furious do it once. Like he took 3 people.
No. Furious is good. I trained him in National Guard in City 1.
Oh, okay.
I was in National Guard with him.
Yeah.
He remembers me. He remembers Pops from City 1. Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
like,
I was there. I was his drill sergeant when he joined National Guard. I go a long way back with the cities. It's just I came here for a different reason. So I left City 1, but I was National Guard for over 6 months in City 1. And and Dante looks very, very like I did in that city.
Oh yeah.
Like old man of the army.
Oh yeah.
Like with the uniform. Yeah, and I always walked around with a revolver. It was like it's the one weapon I had. It's the one weapon I just walk up and down the carrier, telling people orders and instructions. Like walk back and forth the whole length of the flight deck, like giving orders to the people, like you will not shoot in the water, okay, blah blah blah, like the whole mission briefing. Because you have to do that you have to do it like every time. It's just a thing we did. And then with the bank protection, I commanded the units in the vault. The general took command of the units in Tunnel 4, and I took command of the units in the vault. So I was never the best clapper. Yeah, look, I'm very good with a revolver, but I'm not good. not good with an AR. I've always been more of a sniper shooter. So I'm very good with headshots with a revolver. But yeah, I mean, people have seen that. People have seen how good Poppy is with people running, long range shot with a real bang, fucking headshot done. But yeah, yeah, Darren.
Yeah.
I hope you learned something. Like read through things again. Like read through the criminal code again. Like kind of like the Article 1.
Yeah.
There's some. I hope you've learned some stuff. I hope you kind of got a better, deeper understanding of some of the things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all here in the law. Okay, it's just people don't read it. Even just knowing these things makes you a better law enforcement officer. All right.
Yeah, got it.
I
So
mean,
what is tomorrow? Is the next class, right?
yeah, I can do another class for you tomorrow if you want.
Yeah. So what will be the topic on tomorrow's class?
The civil code. Okay, the code of civil and procedural law.
Oh,
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you
Not
for
a-
your time, Poppy.
Not a problem. So, like, it's this. Remember, like, kind of, we want to get a law school going. Okay. So I'm using this partially as this kind of an experiment, a test to kind of maybe work through kind of how a class would work, and as well. So it's like it's helpful for me.
No, it's my pleasure to always help people. So I'm ready for anything if you ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have a nice day, Poppy.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for your time, Darren.
Yeah.
You know, you can walk up the back.